education. What has your principal planned for the educational sector, which we know in Nigeria is not only efficient, it has become borderline anorexic? The educational sector in Nigeria needs reviving. Right now, we all know it is on life support. ASU has been on strike for 5 straight months, if I'm correct. Nigerian tertiary institutions operated by the federal government of Nigeria are all on strike. How do we rescue this sector? Who goes first, Cross or Obedient?
They should go first.
Obedient, over to you.
Okay, maybe I start.
All right.
Welcome my fellow Nigerians, my fellow Obedients. I believe every 4 of us here in this life is obedient. Daddy Freeze, good evening, Cross, good evening, Prof. Happy to have you here, sir. Much respect. So, first, education, yeah. It's a very passionate topic for me to talking about education and talking about Mr. Peter Obi, because I'm one of those that experienced him firsthand, the education, my school, Nise in Oka. His approach to education is hands-on approach. That is the approach that you have to roll off your sleeve. It's not the one that you give order from office. I am one of the class captains that had his numbers. He came to my school 4 times. He came to my school 4 times before I graduated. I saw my governor as a secondary school child. I saw my governor. I spoke with my governor at 4 different occasions before I left secondary school. Peter Obi was the reason why it was a tug of war to make straight A's in WAEC. We were fighting in class. Because of what? We know what the governor promised us. We know the incentives he came to whisper to us. This is this, this is this. We were here, the level of competition, Peter Obi's policy and body language, communication to us as kids, the level of competition he put in our heads. Anybody that is saying, talking about building, people think building a school does not necessarily mean quality education, yeah? What means quality education is that if you bring people from my school and merge them with any other student of my level from any other part and country of the world, we can compete favorably. That is education. So he moved education from 26 to what? 1 in WAEC and NECO. It's clear. We all saw it. I experienced it firsthand. So if you tell me you want to work on education, I need you to make it hands-on. Make it hands-on. Then give education to the private sector, then monitor them, and probably even fund them. Like Mr. Peter Obi gave education back to the schools, to the churches, yeah? And still funded them, and still monitored them, and still gave them incentives, provided he made himself available for the students. There's not a crime to see a president of Nigeria make an unscheduled visit to a university. It's not a crime for my president to turn up in my university, to turn up in my lecture room. It's not a crime. So for me, that is the Peter Obi factor, which education, and there's no other candidate that has that body language to provide that kind of leadership. Education needs leadership, just like every other, so many other sectors in Nigeria need leadership. And like PO will always say, what we are lacking in Nigeria is leadership. Thank you.
All right, so over to Cross. Education. What has your principal, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, what does he have?
Okay, thank you guys. Hi everyone, Cross over here. So I just want to respect you guys because you guys are amazing. Well, and the fact that you guys are standing still in what you believe and you're going for it.
Cross, you are breaking. Hold on, you are breaking.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you from here.
Obedience, please mute your mics so he can talk. Please mute your mics so he can talk.
So basically, I understand everything you said about Toby, which is fantastic, and I respect the fact that he actually cares about education, which is, I believe, so. He definitely does. He definitely does. Sorry, but the funny thing about it is that so does Atiku. I personally will tell you this for free. Atiku has been an educationalist because that's what helped him in life, like literally. From his early stage, from his beginning of his life, when he lost, his parents, he had to beg his school, because then not actually, like education. So he has always believed in education, and he begged his uncle, put him through education, and he went. That's how even his political career started. So from education, he started as student union, running for position from head boy, those kind of things. That's how his political career has always started. So it was something that he started from his early age based on school. So he's a foundation. He's someone that education has actually taught something to become who he is. Because without, his uncle that taking him to school, we would not actually know who Atiku is today. So education that we all talk about is a product of that. Now, let's move forward. After he has eventually gotten the amount of knowledge, power, and he has grown to be who he is, he decided to invest by building a university. Do you know what it is like it takes to build a university, and not just a common university, a very good standard university? I have friends, both in White, BBN, different people that actually have come out of his school, AN, and I mean, school in Yola, and they did fantastically well. And you go to the school, you see mixture of different people from different part of the world: Brazil, Kenya, Congo, Nigeria, all kinds of different people. He's 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 a multiverse person. He actually believes in human being people, because at the end of the day, the best resources we can ever have is human beings. So educating them, showing them the way, has always been his principle since day one. So having that school, which a lot of my friends that I know have passed through, have come out and are successful right now, it shows that education to him is very, very passionate. Well, let me tell you a very funny story. This is very, very real. Like, to show you how bad he loves education, right? I remember 2019, is it 2018? 2019, yeah, right before election. One of his kids, right? They're done with high school, done with uni. He wants to come back, start working and hustling. Normal. You don't come back from uni now, you won't start the hustle, that kind of thing. More. You know what he told him? He said that if you don't give me your masters, nigga, I'll cut you off. Straight. And I took a second, and I was around the vicinity at that point of time when that went down. And I thought about it. I was like, this guy has money. He can put his son up and do whatever he wants, but he actually wants education for every of his kid, for every citizen that he can lay his hand on. And right there, the guy, he changed him for his son, his own son. Told him, if you don't give me your master, I'll cut you off. I won't give you anything. Like, I'll actually cut. And his son actually went and got his masters and came back. And when he came back, showed him, said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So he has always been someone that he's smart. For someone to have so many businesses, right, you have to have gone through some level of education and believe that education works to a certain level. So he always believed that go to school, learn, get crafty, get whether crafty or intellectual, whatever, learn and come out. And he doesn't allow people that does not He's always smart. He wants to evolve. He's always looking for the next, like he follows what's going on in the world. Like as the world is moving, that's how it is. I know that people don't know this because he's always quiet and he's always like, oh,
Hold on,
through.
you're breaking. Guys, mute your mics. Mute your mics.
So through this, you can actually know that someone actually cares about it. P2B cares about education. I'm telling you, I know this because I'm from Anambra State. And I can tell you free, fair, and fair that Atiku actually does care about it. I've been to his university. I saw the university. I saw students come out of it. And I know how they are doing very, very well. And people actually go there from different parts of the world. So it shows that this kind of person that actually wants education would never, ever allow strike to happen in the country because he wants his kids to go to school. He wants his adopted kids. He wants everyone to go to school. That's the kind of person he is. So honestly, I can't really say much than this because actually, like you can just go to Yola and see for yourself. And I have colleagues and friends that have come out of his school and they're doing fantastically well. You understand? So that's what I can say about him.
I can't hear him. I can't hear Daddy Freeze.
What's going on? Hello.
Daddy Freeze?
Okay, sorry. I said the essence of today's debate is how we can actually have a respectful debate where people can actually address the issues that are going down. So the next question will be answered first by the Obidients, this time by Prof. So if you're ready, I would love to proceed with asking the question. So so let's do this. If you're ready, are you ready?
Go ahead.
Should I be asking, or should I add to the issue about Atiku and or be on education? Because it's important.
New question. I'm going to be asking. So what I want to do is one obedient answers a question, another obedient answers the next question.
Okay.
Not just be two against one in that
Yeah,
sense.
but can I just add an important line to the issue about education, because it's very important.
All right, please go ahead, but do so very quickly.
Very shortly and briefly. Fundamentally, I did speak with someone who's involved with the UN on MDGs, and we talked about how the educational sector has fared. And in the course of the discussion, he ended up with saying that with Obi and education in Anambra, it was magical. It wasn't just ordinary, it was magical. Taking a state from number 26 in educational rating in 4 years to number 1. And then when we talk about moving a nation forward, and we talk about growing a nation, you can't grow a nation without growing the educational sector. The tragedy of our country today is the fact that leadership, successive leadership, has failed to address that fundamentals. And I say this, my brother Cross struggled to explain away the story of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri Adamawa. The reason I use the word struggled is that Atiku has never pretended about the fact that he was a beneficiary of support systems. But you ask yourself, how well has his own system supported education? He runs about the most expensive school in Nigeria. He runs a private business. Education for him is about business, not about growing the populace and the society. Let's not make pretenses about it. Let us not hide behind one finger. I know that in the course of this discussion, our brother Cross will become obedient because he will find the truth. As we progress, as we talk about our nation, no nation in the world has moved out of poverty without putting primacy on education. And in the history of our country since 1999, only one man has stood tall, head and shoulder above others in putting education as a major fundamental. Daddy Freeze, are you aware that it was Peter Obi that was the first person who began to support private educational institutions with state funds? He empowered the missionary schools. At some point, he gave some of the schools 10 million naira to improve on their labs. He provided laptops. He provided facilities necessary to grow the educational sector. Are you aware that that was why, like my American friend said, it was magical? It has never happened anywhere in the world that you move a state from number 26 on the education radar to number 1. It was Peter Obi. And then when he talks about another very important point, so that I move to the next issue, is that this generation of some state universities pulling out of ASU started with Peter Obi. Are you aware that most of Anambra state universities, state-owned universities and higher institutions are not caught with or by the ASU strike? Because Peter Obi began the regime of providing all that the state institutions of learning needed to run. And that's what we're talking about. If we have a government and a nation that puts primacy on education, things will work. I'm not a fan of Rochas Okorocha, for instance, but compared to Atiku, Rochas Okorocha gave people free education. I hope Cross knows that.
Yeah.
For Atiku Abubakar, education has been business, not about improving the lives of the rural dwellers, not about improving the lives of the poor. So when we talk about education, in the build-up to 2023, one man stands tall, and that's Peter Obi. He believes that education must be given a primacy. He believes that the children of the poor must have access to qualitative and quantitative education, if you like.
All right. My question number 2. A picture was seen today. I don't know if it was on Reno or Mockery's page. Let me check if it's there. A picture was seen today. Okay, it wasn't Reno or Mockery's page. I just remember seeing it. Okay, yes, it is on Reno or Mockery's page. This picture right here. This is a picture of Peter Obi wearing an Atiku, what's that thing called? Sack. Many people believe that Peter Obi and the Labour Party are actually PDP light. They call Atiku PDP and they call Peter Obi and Obidients Labour Party PDP light. Let's throw some light on that. Peter Obi and Atiku seem to be quite close. I've never seen Peter Obi condemn Atiku in any way. So my question is, why aren't they working together? Why are they working as separate entities? And also, if Peter Obi seems to respect Atiku so much, why is he running against him? let's just have your thoughts. Starting with Cross, do you want to go?
Okay, you know what? At the end of the day, I think Peter Obi is definitely articulated. He was his vice president. So let me just give you a quick download, right? 2019, I was the president for South East Party. And I joined the whole race because Atiku was the president, Obi was the vice president. And it was very hard for me. You know, I have a lot of records. I posted it on my.
Hold on. Sorry, you're breaking. Everybody mute your mic.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so as I said, I've been involved in this whole Atiku and Obi thing because of 2019 when they started the whole thing. I'm sure, right, when the whole, Peter Obi not becoming his vice president, I was actually not really happy with it, but at the end of the day, you cannot cry over spilled milk. I know Mr. Obi very well. He stays in Ikoyi, and I see him sometimes in the elevator. And I know how deep, the guy is. He's quite educated and he knows what to do. He's business driven, right? And he's so articulated in his thinking when it comes to certain things. Now, both forces was amazing. And I know that they actually won 2019 election. Unfortunately, we don't want to go into that. But things happen and that happened. Now, do you know why he cannot condemn Atiku? Because he actually knows what Atiku stands for, and he was going to be his vice president at that time. Listen, guys, let me just tell you something I want you to understand, right? Let me tell you the reason why all this whole thing is going on right now. Personally, I'm a Nigerian. I don't have any other passport. I'm a full Nigerian. There are 3 candidates: Tinubu, Obi, and Atiku. Me personally, I would not want Tinubu to be the president because there's so many reasons I actually don't want him to be the president. I don't want to go into that now, but to me, he should not be the president. Now, left between Obi and Atiku. Now, I have been involved in election and I know how election works. Most people don't because they come on Twitter and tweet. I've been involved and I know how it works, from the local government to this. Now, I love what Mr. B is doing. It shows that there's hope for Nigeria based on the youths. Now, we should all think about it and say, okay, you know what? Peter Obi, Atiku, the votes you're going to give Peter Obi, why are you taking it away from Atiku? Because a lot of people that are obedient now were definitely articulated last year, last 2 years, last 3 years, possibly 4 years ago. That's the funny part about it. So why are you all saying Peter Obi, when you know that the vote that you're going to give Peter Obi and the vote that is going to go to Atiku, you guys are going to allow Tinubu in the middle come and win the election? And in that, I'll be so sad because Nigeria has taken a step backwards. Mr. Obi cannot win the election. He actually can. Listen to me, guys. In the whole 36 states, he was a governor. He did very okay, right? This is 36 states. And there's no proper structure that will allow you win. That's why he was the vice president of Atiku at that time. Now, I don't know what happened. Decided to go both ways. He went to the party. Now, right, I talk to you guys right now. Nigeria actually wake up and realize they have people are asking for miracle, mercy. How can you say you are going to go and vote for someone, right? And out of the whole 36 states, there's limited numbers that can go to him. Now, that number that can go to him, and definitely, when in the middle of the whole thing, when Tinubu wants to come and vote, because at the end of the day, yeah, you cannot tell me that AP don't have in this election because they are the ones in government. Follow my thought, for example. I want a businessman, try and listen to me, right? We, the youth, we don't have all the numbers because we don't have all our PVCs. The people that have PVCs have already decided because between APC and PDP, right? Now, you all should understand that when the election time comes, when people go and vote, and when they vote and vote and vote, at the end of the day, it's going to fall between these three parties. And my own fear out of everything is Tinubu being the president. I don't actually want him to be the president. That's the honest truth. And the only person that I see that actually can be the president is Atiku. So why are we going to have fight? Why don't we all come together and say that let us all join together and become a nation together and build Nigeria together? You become Minister of Finance or Minister of Labor. And he has told us he's going to give us 30 to 40% of his administration to the youth and to the women. So why, in my right senses, will I say, okay, I'm a numbers guy, I love numbers. I won't lie to you, I love numbers. If you give 30% or 40% to the youth and to the women in an administration, and after your 8 years, what do you think that 30 to 40% of the youth and the women, they've grown into what they could be? And by then, youth will actually, take over the administration. If you want to take Obi to be the president right now, he actually can't win the election. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that because of the numbers does not add up. And my own fear is that if this is going on, Tinubu is going to come from the middle and he's just going to become the president. And that is when we're actually more doomed. So I just want you guys to understand that there's no good or there's no bad. It's just this is the candidates we have. What do you think that can happen? Okay.
30
to 40% of the administration, he's going to give it to us, right? Fair and square. Now, when this we become part of that, definitely.
That is free.
Yes, I'm right here.
I understand. I understand Cross's passion.
So wait, hold
I
on.
understand his concern.
Hold on, listen.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Boss, 1 more minute, land.
Okay, 1 minute. Do you know that everybody that has a PVC has a ticket to their better life? There's over 90 something million PVCs registered. On that day, highest 40 million. If that's even up to 40 million or 50, will come out and vote. Now, process. There's people that are APC, because they are, and people have all the money and power. And when that starts happening, we Nigerians should come together and say, you know what? We should get a that this thing doesn't happen to us. That's my own fear. I understand, guys. Numbers don't lie. And my number is saying that actually Obi can't be the president. So why are we going to go and give someone amount of votes that can't be the president and gave a gateway for Tinubu to come and be the president? And we are now due for 8 years. And guess what? After that 8 years, let's believe he's not going to leave those terrain. And
that is free.
Atiku has given us that he will give us the youth. He's a youth person. He has told us, give us 30% to 40% of your administration.
Okay.
And now you can take over. So,
okay, I understand the process point. Instead of Peter Obi losing the election and dividing the vote and allowing Tinubu to win, PDP and the Labour Party should merge. What are your thoughts, Obidients?
Daddy Freeze,
yes.
Let me say clearly that I totally and completely appreciate the position that Cross has taken. I sympathize with him for perhaps not properly understanding the demography and the statistics. And it is important to equip Cross with information. Maybe when he does have the information, he perhaps will I told you that at the end of this discussion, Cross will be the number one obedient by tomorrow morning, because I'm going to give him statistics and information. First, I've heard people say that Atiku has an 11 million vote on account of his effort in 2019. And I say clearly, yours sincerely, who's speaking to you here, was one of the spokespersons of his campaign in 2019. And I am one person who's no longer with him. And so are millions of Nigerians. I don't know whether you know about his personal group, his oldest personal group, the Turaki Vanguard. In 2019, I was a spokesperson of the Vanguard for his presidential election. And at 78, he's going to be 78 or so in 2023. The challenges of our nation are perhaps obviously beyond Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri Adamawa. That's point number one. Point number two, and very importantly, the challenges of now, the challenges of the modern day are over and above him. Now let me tell you, my brother Cross, what you have across the country is a sweltering harmattan of Nigerians who are desirous of a new deal. I don't know whether you know that the INEC demography of those who came out to register between the year of our Lord 2021 and 2022 are in excess of 10 million people. I don't know whether you know that the surge is simply because a new generation of voters want to take back their country. I don't know whether you understand that those who supported Atiku in 2019 perhaps saying that they want a new country. I don't know whether you understand that they understand that between the APC and the PDP, I call them Siamese twins. I truly understand your concern about not wanting Asiwaju. We do not want Asiwaju. We do not want Bat. But the figures are clear that those who want a new Nigeria are far more in excess of those who perhaps want Asiwaju and or those who want Atiku Abubakar. And let me give you the clear figures. In the southeast, where you are from, the preponderant number, look at the polls from the Atedo Peterside people, look at the Blomberg poll. Daddy Fish, can you hear me?
Clearly. We can
Wonderful. Wonderful. Look at the figures. There are three polls that have come out. And all three polls says that Peter Obi will win the next election. And then let me make you understand it real. In 2011, I was 39 to be 40. I ran for the office of president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In that year, Jonathan was given the victory by the polls. The Atedo Peterside poll gave it to Jonathan. Exit polls, early polls. In 2014-2015, the Atedo Peterside poll gave it to Buhari. The same way Jonathan won in 2011, Buhari won in 2015. In 2019, the polls gave it to Buhari. Buhari won again in 2019. As you and I talk, the polls have given it, the Atedo Peterside polls have given it to Peter Obi. As you and I talk, Bloomberg gave it a 72% to Peter Obi. As you and I talk, a third poll gave it to Peter Obi. And let me tell you why they have given it to Peter Obi. We live in a country where between the Siamese twin, the APC, and the other twin, the PDP, we have 70 months of ASU strike. We live in a country where between both of them, we have had corruption unhinged and unfettered. Now we live in a country where snakes swallow money, monkeys swallow money, termites eat up confidential financial records, accentuating corruption. We live in a country where between the two parties, the second Niger Bridge has taken almost 2 decades, 20 years to construct. Where between the two parties, the Lagos-Ibadan expressway is yet unfinished. I hope you're following the figures. So Nigerians are tired of the two. The same way you're apprehensive, I'm coming across, the same way you're apprehensive of Tinubu winning the election, that is the same way Nigerians do not want Atiku to win the election. Nigerians are tired of these gerontocrats.
Nigerians.
No, I'm telling you, I know those figures. I just told you, Cross, that in 2014, 2015, I was a spokesperson and leader of one of the campaign organizations of Buhari. In 2019, I was a spokesperson to the Atiku campaign. So I know both of them. And I understand the urgency of now. Cross, do you know that just yesterday or 2 days ago, Nigerians who were mobilized to the Unity Fountain in front of Transcorp were asking for their money before they would go to that rally in support of Tinubu? Do you know that the reason Atiku did not go to the public, but rather started his campaign at the Yadwa Center was because he didn't want to be embarrassed? But are you aware that all the obedient rallies across this country have been self-funded? Cross, are you aware? You're sincerely talking with you today. I was.
Your records. You can't prove that. That's just, you're just saying that. I can tell you this same thing. All Atiku's rally too, he has been funding it. So how do you mean self-funded? Like, who is funding it? Is it the presidential candidate?
The obedient campaigns are funded by the individuals, not by Obi.
Like individuals, people bringing out their money to campaign.
I'll give you a practical instance. I was the one who paid for the DJs in the Abuja rally.
Oh, okay.
As I talk to you, yes, that's what I'm saying. As I talk to you on one of the Twitter spaces today, about 1,500,000 was raised by young people in support of the rallies for October 1st. No, I'm giving you practical instances. But on the other side, they are waiting for Atiku or perhaps a Tinubu. We're talking about organic movements. I'm trying to tell you that as we proceed, no, just understand, I know where you're coming from. Your fear is you do not want a situation where perhaps a Tinubu will win the election because Obi, quote and unquote, does not have structures. But if there is any candidate in the build-up to 2023 who has structures, it is Obi, not Atiku or a Tinubu.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this. No, I'll tell you this. After this interview, after this discussion, you can perhaps do a Google check. I was 21 when I was one of the youth leaders of Abiola's campaign, 21 years old. So I'm not just speculating. In 2011, when I ran for president, I was 39 to be 40. I pioneered the not too young to run movement. As I talk to you, I understand the Nigerian political demography. If you know how many young people who went out to register to get their PVCs, you'll be amazed. And then if you understand the fact that between the PDP and the APC, Nigerians are tired. It's been 23 years of failure.
Okay.
You're tired, I know.
I'm Nigerian, like, you don't understand. I'm a Nigerian. I have
and you're tired.
Find difficulties in certain things. I know how
embarrassing
to get visas. Or, guy, every day people call me and ask me for money. Like my phone, I know I send money out every day. Don't tell me about
That's why you have to be obedient, Cross.
$9 is going to get to at least 1,000. When it comes to finance, I
Because,
know finance.
because that's why you have to be obedient.
I'm a number person. All I'm trying to tell you guys is that, listen, yes, fair and square. P2B is all good and all fair and square. But you're telling the numbers. Fam, I was the president for for Southeast East for Atiku, and I was on ground. Obidients was my P2B was my vice president, and Atiku was my president at that time. And I saw what happened during that period of time when we went to 36 states campaigning at that time. Listen to me. You cannot tell me in the video I saw in Jos. Did you see more than half of the other this thing was empty? But they will show you. Listen, I love what P2B is doing. I actually love it. You don't understand. It's giving me ginger.
Because I love your passion.
It's giving me ginger that show that the youths are actually ready to come out and take their country.
Because I love your passion.
I want the youth to actually come out. But right now, the numbers don't add up. Why are we going to be like giving us a certain amount of numbers that you will give someone now that the person might not use to win? Listen, Atiku has come up with a plan. He has told us simple. When he was the vice president, the youth people were in his cabinet. Women were in his cabinet. Ngozi,
no, he didn't have a cabinet. He didn't have a cabinet, Cross. He didn't have a cabinet. The cabinet was Obasanjo's cabinet. Let me say this, Cross. I want you to understand this. No, I want you to understand this. That's why I left you. I understand your passion. I understand your passion, and I salute your passion.
Prof, let him finish. Prof, sorry, let him finish.
At that time, he was the vice president. He was the one leading the economic team in Nigeria as of that time. He brought young minds and brilliant minds to come into the administration to help to work together. At that time, Nigeria was one of the best times. Yes, Obasanjo helped as well. Both of them worked together to an extent. They had their own misunderstanding, of course, but they actually helped Nigeria as a whole. Atiku himself has told you, if he becomes the president, not if he becomes, when he becomes the president, come, let us work together. He's going to give us part of his administration. We can even sign it. Listen, I understand that APC has actually messed us up to an extent, and it's blood. I know this. And Buhari is going to leave in the next year, and he doesn't care. Yes, Northern. This guy is not actually fully Northern. He's more liberal. He has Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. He's more diverse. And he has come to tell you that, listen, he's a people's person. He's ready to negotiate with you all. What is it that you want? We can negotiate together. What is it if you want to sign? He already signed to make sure that we actually go and rule Nigeria. We become a body. He's a business developing person. Now, P2B actually is a good person, which I think he can do well as well. But the numbers don't add up. I know politics. I know number 36 states. I know how many millions of people are in Nigeria. And I know how many people have PVC. And I know how APC and PDP is. APC has never won an election. It was after Buhari came and Tinubu brought him and he did that. Now, God knows, so simple. They are the ones in power, meaning they have more, they are the ones in power, they have the authority. They have the money. And they are ready to do whatever it takes to become the president. They are ready to do whatever it takes. Do anything. So such person, I will not even endorse such person. My own fear is, why are Nigerians dividing our vote? Come together, let us flog him so bad that he doesn't, whenever he wakes up, he will not even think about running for a game because of how he has decided to even insult us in our face by even giving us Muslim tickets and also just doing a lot of things that believe that he actually is the whole Nigeria. Why don't we come together and do this together? And the only person that I see that is possible that can do it is Atiku. He has done it when he was the vice president. He's very articulated. He has people in heart. He's not a tribalistic person. He's a Nigerian. He's a unifier. He's telling us that he would actually want the youth. Now, for example, hold on, let me burst your brain. Do you know that everybody that has social media, do you know that you can impose on them that everybody that has social media, once they are 18, you must have a PVC? Now, every single person goes and gets their PVC. Now, if he goes into power in the 4 years and he messes up, best believe once INEC office have opened, Nigeria is not going to be Nigeria again, no, because right now things have changed. So whoever is going to be the president has no other option just to wake up, unless the person is just unless the person is a wicked person that doesn't care or turns a deaf ear. whoever goes in has to wake up, because in the next 4 years, once INEC office opens and everybody goes and gets their PVC, now more people are going to go out and get their PVC, and they're not coming to vote you because you have messed up. So everybody has no other option to wake up. Atiku has no other option to wake up. Obi has no other option to wake up. Even Tinubu, but it's just that Tinubu is a person that he fears nobody, because that kind of person, once he has power, he just does whatever he wants to do. So my own life is like, okay, think about it. I've come to an extent that we cannot cry over spilling milk. Obi cannot be the vice president of Atiku. It has happened, it has happened, it has gone. Now, how do we all come together to make Nigeria a better place? Because right now, as it is right now, my only biggest fear is, as they go like this, February go come, people will get power, go just find a way to just infuse it, because the numbers,
No,
and
Obi will win.
the numbers don't
Cross,
add up.
Obi
Numbers
will
are the
win.
most important thing. Wait, numbers are the
Cross,
most important. Hold on. I'm a youth, and you're a youth, right? We don't say at Nigeria Day now. You say you are sponsoring the campaign, whatever you're doing, you're sponsoring. Good. Now, why don't we just go and build a new Nigeria together, right? And start doing things, doing borehole in communities, helping charity, doing things together, so we can be part of the government. Sign an agreement that once you become the president, this is part of our administration. We will rule Nigeria together. Now, after his 8 years, I promise you, once he has finished, he tells us that we are getting over to the youth. The youth actually takes power. That's how simple the whole thing is. But I don't understand how you guys are finding it very difficult, because Obi has actually come to tell you that he's also going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do that. He cannot, this is not Anambra. He cannot rule the whole of 36 states. It's not possible. They will not allow him. It's not possible. Nigeria will not. The numbers don't add up. Why are we not up to make sure that Tinubu doesn't come into power? You understand where I'm coming from? It's not a simple mathematics. Numbers don't add up. And I promise you, you say you've done your poll. You've done your poll.
Cross,
Okay.
Cross.
You've done your poll to an extent.
I
And
understand.
All right, guys.
I understand. Cross, I understand your passion. I totally, right in front of me is my younger sister. No, wait. Cross, listen. I understand your passion.
No, hold on.
Wait. Let me give you the figures. That's why I let you talk.
And yet they are looking for something else. Me, I know that the youth have a lot to do, especially in the... We are all asking
This is
for help.
beautiful, Daddy. Daddy Freeze, this is beautiful. I love his passion. I salute his passion.
I've been in Abuja. I've lived in Abuja. I've lived in Northern people. I've lived in everybody. I've lived in Yoruba. I've lived in outside, and I understand the British people messed up us at the beginning.
Daddy Freeze, let me just make you laugh. Cross, let me make you laugh. Cross, wait, let me make you laugh. Cross, just wait. My younger sister is in front of me. Do you know what he said? She just said, he said, Cross is sounding like you would sound some 15, 20 years ago. I understand his passion. Cross, I'm taken by your emotions. I salute it, but let me tell you this. Beyond the emotion and the passion is the reality. And I think I am actually more real than you are here.
No.
Look at Nasarawa. Wait, Cross.
I'm more realistic because you're not seeing enough.
Cross, wait. You're sounding like me. And let me make you laugh. You look a bit like me, but for my pattern. So I think you understand where I'm coming from. So just listen. We're here at the throes of a new election. What do you think? You think that the millions you see on the street without shishi from anybody is for nothing? Do you think that those who are out there, who came out and to the streets in Nasarawa, in Calabar, in Akure, in Ibadan, wait, I just want you to be a bit patient. Just listen to me. Do you think they came from the moon? You think that those who are pushing this narrative and the social media are robots? You think that we do not know how to defend? I know your concern. Your concern is, oh, they might not have the structures. But let me tell you now, there is no party in this country. Wait, Cross, just listen. You will understand. That's why I listen to you. Just listen. Yeah. If you want to know the truth, there's no locality in this country where you don't have a teacher. A teacher is a member of NUT, National Union of Teachers. And NUT is an affiliate union of the NLC. NLC is part of Labour Party. Listen to me. There are no places in this country where you don't have civil servants, even in the hinterlands. Teachers, civil servants, and they are all part of the TUC. You may not know that. Let me give you information, please. TUC is part of the Labour Party. NLC is part of the Labour Party. They perhaps have not told you that. Now, if there is any movement that actually has a structure to the remotest villages, it is the Labour Party. The fact that before now they've not been mobilized, conscientized, and activated could be the reason why you've been sounding this way. But as I talk to you, I'm talking to you as one involved in the Obidients campaign, National Campaign Organization. And I know what we're doing about that. We understand your challenges, we understand your concern. And as I talk to you today, and as I talk to Nigerians who are listening to us, we are not ignorant of those challenges. The truth is that what is happening is that we're activating all those structures to ensure that your fears are not grounded. To make sure that when we win the election, the votes will count. I know what happened in 2019, and I know why you're concerned. But the fact is that the masses of our people, young men and young women like you, are stepping out and they are involved. And before November 2022, we'll be sure you will be overwhelmed by what would have happened before your very eyes. As I talk to you, there are well over 5 governors in this country who are in tandem with the Obedient movement. As I talk to you, all the former heads of states of this country, you're talking about Atiku. I'll give you a practical instance. One of the aides of Muhammad Buhari that I'm in direct touch with said to me that Atiku had come to complain. If they were going to support an Obi, why didn't they tell him? He wouldn't have spent so much money at the PDP primaries. And I'm not speculating. So don't get carried away by the challenges that people throw up in the public space. The truth is that there's a movement across our country for a new tendency in leadership. I call it the sweating harmattan. Everywhere Nigerians are asking for something new and something different. Everywhere Nigerians are asking for a new tendency in leadership. Everywhere Nigerians are asking for a new deal, a leader who will be responsible and responsive to the people. And in Atiku Abubakar, they haven't found that. Remember what Obasanjo said about him. Remember what his case with the Americans are. And then as you and I talk, what is fundamentally clear is that Tinubu is not our option. So if we agree that Obi is the best of the choices, you and I would have to work to make that a reality. Do not get scared. Do not abdicate that position. We can together make that victory a reality. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yes.
Now, guys, let me say, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Let me say something. First things first, big shout out to you all. I'm so happy we're having this very nice discussion, and I like the way it's going. I'm going to ask one more question, and then I'd like to bring someone from Team Tinubu. Let's balance the narrative. Let's hear what they have to say once more, respectfully. I need to show appreciation to Lady Nantoma. Lady Nantoma is really supporting my channel. And she has a seminar, more like a masterclass, coming up on the 11th of December from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. On the 11th of December. And you can learn the etiquette of being an elegant woman, how to define your own beauty, love, and feel beautiful, how to meet affluent people for business relationships or romance, how to build a network of high caliber women, and how to know and shop for your body type. The Elegant Lady Masterclass, how to become an elegant lady. Look out for it on the 11th of December, and it will cost only $399 US. Big shout out to Lady Nantoma. I don't know if she's in the comment section, but she's been supporting a lot, and you guys need to be a part of this. So I'm going to ask one more question, and then I'm going to bring Tinubu, somebody from Tinubu's group. So maybe this other gentleman would answer, because I like Prof to be there when the Tinubu guys come through. So my question is actually combined honors, two questions in one: healthcare and national security. These are two fundamental problems Nigeria has as a country. How does your principle, and I'm timing this particular answer because I don't want us to be here all night, how does your principle plan to solve these two problems? So how does Atiku plan to solve the healthcare crisis Nigeria is currently going through? Someone said while other countries are building hospitals, Nigerians are praying for healing. At this point, the only thing you can do for healing in Nigeria is pray, because we don't have enough hospitals. And national security is an issue, from the IPOB threatening the eastern part of Nigeria to the northern crisis, the lack of police and a proper military structure, our Navy not being able to take care of the coastal region to prevent bunkering. We have deep-rooted national security issues, and I'm sure we're all aware of this. So in 2 minutes each, I'd like the gentleman in glasses to go first. Prof, please sit this one out. I'll wait for the Tinubu guy. And then Cross, how does your principle plan to solve this problem? So you have exactly 2 minutes, and the time is starting now.
Is it for me or for Cross? Sorry.
No, for you.
Okay. Good evening, Daddy Freeze.
Good evening.
Yeah, if we have all listened to Mr. Peter Obi, he has always mentioned something about national security, and he gave a clear explanation of how he's going to deal with that. First is that he's going to have a dialogue with all the agitating groups, except the one we know that are bandits. They are bandits. There's no dialogue. But after hearing from them and trying to have an understanding with them, he will call them out. And if they refuse to, then whatever is the remnant of criminality that we have in the country, his administration will deal decisively with them. And of course, we know that what causes agitation is when people are ill-treated by the government that's supposed to take care of them. And Peter has said that he's going to bring in a motion that will change people's disposition or indisposition towards the country. They will need to believe in the country, believe in their currency, believe that the country cares for them, and they will stop agitation. So security issue will become something that is solved. He also said that he's going to invest in education so that people will understand what it means to be civil, what it means to be patriotic. That's what education brings on board. And the government that invests heavily in education gets good results for the society. Again, he said he's going to create employment by investing in the small, medium enterprises, where you have majority of our youths who are supposed to be productive. Today, Nigeria has 20 million youths unemployed. And if you bring the underemployed...
I guess my brother is obedient too. So where is the Tinubu person?
No, I'm bringing it to the person later. I just need him to finish.
Please bring him on.
So when you bring the underemployed youths, who are about 30 million in number, you have 50 million people who are not really productive to the country, and they are undermanaged. So in this sector called SME, when you empower them, you take them away from criminality. So you have little number to deal with, and his government will deal with it decisively, and he said it's going to be immediate. Now, talking about health, Peter Obi, as a politician and as a person, has not traveled outside the country to assess medical attention, except when he's in UK and maybe there is need. But all his treatments are done here in Nigeria. His hospital is here in Onitsha, Waterside, where he was actually born. Peter Obi is one that travels, sees a Nigeria that is doing well, and he brings him home. How did we get Dr. Joe Milo, who is a heart surgeon? He told him, look, what will it take to establish a heart center in Anambra State? And the man gave him the bill. Peter paid cash as a governor. He said, let's build it. And he knew where he would build it, and there will be proper management. He built it inside St. Joseph Hospital at Dazin, managed by the church. If you go there today, that heart center is standing. In fact, Peter witnessed a heart operation that took place in that hospital by this Dr. Jomil. Now, that goes to tell you that when Peter becomes the president, because he's going to be, our National Hospital, Abuja, will be transformed. Our presidential clinic will be transformed. We will no longer have the practice of people trying to go outside the country to that. And what did he say when he was in the United States some 2 weeks back? He said, Nigerians in diaspora, and we know we have so many doctors of Nigerian origin and nurses of Nigerian origins, that you will no longer need to send money home to support your own, something that will be for consumption, that he will want them to bring the money home for investment. So you have our medical doctors coming home to build here. Recently, one of our medical doctors from Anambra Extraction gave $1 million to University of Ibadan to support the medical facility there. So such people, and there are many of them, can come back here either individually or by synergy or by public-private partnership. Give us something that will stop us from going to India and all the world over when we have them here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cross, over to you. They had 5 minutes, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes too.
Honestly, yes, Peter Obi does all this and it's good and everything. He was the governor, of course. What do you expect? You are the 8 years governor, correct? And how many years ago? You have to do things. As I said, don't get me wrong, Obi that correct guy. He has done his best and his best when he was a governor. I'm not saying
Prince Cross is getting obedient.
No.
Yeah, he is.
I know the
He's
guy.
my brother.
Hold on. As I said, I know the guy. I just see him for elevator anytime they go in they laugh with the G. So I know him. So I want you guys to understand that this is not, I'm trying to tell him that he's not or he's good or he's not good. No. This is numbers. I'm actually a realistic person. I'm a businessman. And I love people that have business thinking. In the health sector, fair and square, he has done well. And so has Atiku as well, when he was the vice president. Listen, right? I remember this was a conversation we're having in the house sometime, like time ago. He was telling someone that he feels bad how, Nigerians have to try, a lot of our doctors and nurses are leaving the country to England. I don't know if you heard a few months ago, a lot of our doctors left. You know, I think it's a good amount, over 1,000 to 2,000, a very good amount of people left. And he was so sad, and he was like, why do we, having our talent, country to another country? It doesn't make sense. This same country that took us like slaves, did all sorts of rubbish. Now we're going there to go and get worship them, work there for a better life. So he was so sad, and he was like emotional about it. And this kind of things, you understand that yes, it's a bit emotional because a whole country like Nigeria should have a healthcare situation where that everyone can be able to have a very good free healthcare to maintain a good, a healthy living. Atiku, I cannot tell you, because he has not been in power for a long time. You understand? He has not been in power for a long time. If he was in power 5 years ago, 8 years ago, I would, I'm sure something about healthcare would have come because Obi has all these recent records and everything. Listen, this guy has been away from power for so long, but yet, because of his business acumen, he has always tried to improve lives in so many ways, from abroad and even home here. As I said, I'm not going to come here and be telling you what he has not done or what Obi has not done, what Obi has not done. I'm a numbers guy, and I'm telling you the honest truth. This guy is telling us what we will do. Let us come together and work together so that we can make Nigeria a better place. And I see no reason why we are not doing this. Listen, if in 4 years' time come, right? Imagine, this is what I think we should have done when Atiku becomes the president. Everybody, every social media, that phrase, bloggers, everybody that has, Instagram, Twitter, we would make sure that all workers, so far you're in public office, because a lot of people don't even know their ward, who's representing them in their ward, in their House of Representatives, all the way to Senator. People don't actually know this. And it's sad because people don't even know who is meant to be taking care of your road, your light, and certain things. People don't know this. Now, make it a compulsory that everybody that is a government worker will have a verified account on the social media. Meaning that every single time you know who is representing you at every given time. You can tag them, you can call out them and everything. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Because we go on Instagram, we laugh, we do a lot of things, and we see skit and everything. But we are not seeing who are representing us in our local government and everything. Put their hashtag there, make sure that you come for them. So everybody is aware of who is representing them in every of their parastatals. Now, you can see that people will actually wake up to realize that listen, best believe never going because everybody knows that the youth look at NTAS. I was part of NTAS. Till the last day I was there. Even the next day I was there. Nikoi Bridge, I was there so I'm a full Nigerian. I'm a passionate Nigerian, and I know what I want for my country, and I want the best for my country. I know how deep Nigeria is to me. I was born in Kano. I'm from Anambra, and I stayed in Lagos, and I lived in England, and I came back, lived in Abuja. So I've mixed across all kinds of people. What I know about myself is that I like to understand people. I like to read people, understand what they are and how they do their things. That's what gives me joy to an extent. Now,
all right. Time's up. So I hear you guys, and I love the fact that you're working together, even though you tend to disagree on a few minor points here and there. I want to end this, but sadly, I couldn't bring in anyone from Tinubu's camp. The guy who I had, Femi Aderogba, his internet seems to be having problem. Is there anybody from Team Tinubu? Is Bongoli here?
Okay.
All right, awesome. All right, so in 5 minutes, because I want to end this now so it doesn't drag.
Hello? Hello?
Your network is bad.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Your network is quite bad. I'm so sorry, Femi Aderoba. Okay, Bongoli, can you come on?
All right, no problem.
Daddy,
Bongoli,
Daddy
come
freeze.
on.
All right, can I
Daddy
talk now?
freeze. Okay.
You're too bad,
I can
Femi.
hear him.
It's too loud. It
Daddy
makes
freeze.
Listen, guys.
Sorry.
Listen, all right.
DJ Bon.
Listen,
Daddy
guys.
freeze.
Yes.
I want you to see.
Can
Prof,
I,
Prof,
in his passion,
Prof,
in his
listen.
passion,
Prof, listen.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Prof, I didn't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, in his passion, Cross left out the fundamentals about education. He left the issues because I see how passionate my younger brother Cross is. And somebody was whispering to me that he can actually pass for your younger brother, same father, same mother. And I think so. When I saw him in the Big Brother show, and my younger brother teased me and said, "That dude looks like you." But I said, "I'm a finer version of Cross." But that's by the way. That's by the way. What is important here is that as we talk about our country, there's one person who has shown capacity and commitment to making the healthcare sector beautiful. And the guy that spoke before Cross, the Obedient, did talk about what he did with respect to the healthcare sector in Anambra State. I think that there are two very fundamental aspects of governance. Our Constitution in Section 42 did say clearly that the fundamental reason for which government exists is the protection of lives and properties. And tied to it is our healthcare system. Our healthcare system. And it is important, as you and I talk, that we push the candidate who truly cares about how we make our healthcare sector effective, efficient, and effectual. And the candidate who can do that is Peter Gregory Obi. As we talk about, making our
it is actually not difficult. All Nigeria, you see, what I love Nigeria is that Nigeria, we actually shine no matter what happens in life. No. Nigeria are aggressive in anything. Music, culture, IT.
Bro.
All right, hold on.
Bro.
Now the Tinubu guy, the gentleman Tinubu to talk.
Well done, sir.
Now remember, today we're keeping it very respectful, so please.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. So, sir, Mr. Cross, I have a question for Mr. Cross, but let me greet my chairman here, the Mr. Obi guy. Please, sir, it is actually section 14, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and it says that the primary purpose of government is security and welfare, not 42. 42 is under fundamental human rights, dignity for Nigerians.
Fundamental rights and objectives of state policy.
It's fundamental human rights. That is, and it ends in 46, where 46 say that anyone tramples on your fundamental human rights, that you can take the person to a high court, either state or federal. 42 is talking about 42. You begin to talk about, when you say 42, 42 is about maybe freedom of expression, joining a political party, and all that, sir. Now, that is by the way. Mr. Cross, you said something about knowing your, well done, sir. You said something about knowing your local government, your rep, and your whatever it is. Could you please tell us what local government you're from in Anambra State? Could you please tell us what ward you are from? Could you please tell us your councillor? Because before you do, I'll tell you mine. Could you please tell me your state rep, your federal rep, and your senator?
Address the fundamental issues of this course and leave going personally. Address what your candidate would do with healthcare. Address what your candidate would do with education. Leave leave Cross's personal.
No, it is what he said, sir. With all due respect, it is what he said. He said everyone needs to know all of this.
Something achieve. This is something we would love to do. Let people be enlightened by knowing more about where they are from, their local government and everything.
I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you.
That I would love to know about all my local government, where people are represented. From my
Cross
state,
knows where he's from. Cross knows where he's from. Address the fundamentals. Address education. Address healthcare. Cross, wait. Cross knows where he's from. You're not the umpire. You're not population commission. You're not the Bureau of Statistics. Cross knows where he's from. Address the fundamentals. Address education. Address healthcare. Address national security. Address what your principal or whoever you support will do with the fundamental issues of faith.
Sir, you know what, sir? With all due respect, sir, my boss, my chairman, with all due respect, sir, when people speak, I listen to them very carefully.
No, don't do personal. Address the fundamentals.
Yeah, I know, sir. Sir, my prof, sir. When you started calling section 42, I did like this. No, it's actually 14 section 2B. Because you are in a platform like this, you are in a platform, so we need to, when we are saying things, we need to say it with facts. We need to be factual. Now, Mr. Cross just said now, like 5-10 minutes ago, that you need to know, because what he said is true. For me, for example, I'm from Ward G. No, I'm from Ward G in Oriade LCDA. My councillor is Honorable Wura Ola. My local government rep is Honorable Ramota Lai.
Who is your candidate and why? Who is your candidate? Who's your candidate and why are you supporting your candidate? Who's your candidate and why are you supporting your candidate?
Every Nigerian should know that, including me, including him, even everybody on Twitter and Instagram. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's coming on Instagram to us to have fun. We should also be part of the policies. We should be part of the administration. Why don't everybody come online and be putting those kind of information online? That's what I'm trying to say, that if Atiku becomes the president, by the grace of God, those kind of things are things that I would actually want to see. Let people know where they are from.
With all due respect, sir. With all due respect, sir.
Whatever is bad.
With all due respect, sir.
Because, you know, it's not only the top. When you are ruling,
I know, sir.
As well from
with all due respect, sir. Sir, with all due respect, sir. With all due respect, sir, when you talk about Atiku and all that stuff, sir, how educated and or knowledgeable are you about the mess that was created by the privatization of electricity? Do you know about what happened with electricity and what happened, what Obi did in 2013 and what Atiku did in 2006? Because now when you say that this person is going to come and change the face of Nigeria, we know that he spent about 16 billion US dollars.
Where is Tinubu?
Tinubu, how do you mean, sir? How do you mean, sir?
Where is Tinubu?
How do you mean, sir?
Why didn't he join the signing of this peace pact today?
Is it a constitutional requirement? Is it a constitutional requirement?
I don't have the right to know. I don't know have the right to know where your principal is.
He's in London. Did you see his speeches today? He was having a meeting with Bisi Akande and Ajia. Oh, you don't know? I can send you the picture after this live. What did you say, sir?
What did he go to do? He couldn't. He didn't attend the NBA.
What is my own business? What he went there to do?
He didn't attend the NBA conference. Peace pact signing.
Sir,
where is he?
Sir, with all due respect, sir,
is he well?
It is not constitutionally required, sir, for you to show up or not to show up. What did you say, sir?
Is he
are you a medical doctor? Are you a medical doctor?
You don't know what is medical report? Does the Constitution not require that he should be of sound health?
What did you say?
Does the Constitution not require that he should be of sound health?
Okay, it's not of sound health. Are you his medical doctor?
Oh, well, you see him now. I was at the APC National Primary.
No, I'm asking. Do you know?
When he couldn't hold the papers, what does it symptomize? Parkinson, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you a medical doctor, sir? Are you a trained
No,
medical
but
doctor?
I know you can
No,
do
when
Google
someone
check. You
I've
can
watched
do
since I
Google
know what
doctor.
Okay,
You
sir,
can
this is
Google
what I
check.
want you to do, sir. I want you to just be here like this for 24
Love your
hours.
nation. Love
Sir,
your nation over
sir, I want you to
partisanship. What you must do is to learn to love your nation above partisanship. You cannot give a sick child to a sick doctor. You
Are you
cannot
a
give a
medical
feeble child
doctor?
to a
Are you a
feeble
medical
doctor.
doctor? Are you a
The
medical
facts are
doctor?
clear. Reps ipsa loquitur. The facts
No,
are
are you
clear.
a
You
medical
can't even hold
doctor?
the paper.
Sir, you know better now. I heard they
So
call you professor, sir.
you know.
You know better, sir.
but you know
You
you
know
are
Learn
better
to
than
hold
to
love
on,
say
our
this
nation
online.
above
hold on.
partisanship.
You
Oh,
know better. I just a professor that I just corrected that was misquoting the Nigerian constitution.
Oh,
I
here you
just
go.
corrected it. So why would I
Here
be
you
believe what
go.
you're saying?
Here you
I
go. I
just got
got
back
you.
from work.
I
As
got
in a
you. You're
follow come, you
pandering.
my head. I just got
I
back
got
from
you. You're
work.
pandering.
In a
I
follow
got you.
come,
You're
you do my
pandering.
head. You won't lie.
You're
Don't
pandering.
lie.
Where is your
People
principal?
have started lying
all right,
again.
guys.
Yeah, I started lying
Guys,
again.
You want him to rule Nigeria from a sick bed in London.
hold on.
Are you a
You want
medical
him to
doctor,
rule
sir?
Nigeria from a
With
sick
all due
bed in
respect, are you a
London.
medical doctor? Do you have his medical report?
Bongoli.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on, sir. Listen.
Yes, sir. My chairman. Yes, sir.
It could be anything. What we're trying to say is that there are some symptoms when you know when someone has, you know that, oh shit. If someone has a wrong temperature, there are chances that he has malaria.
I know.
So don't get me wrong. Me, Tinubu, that guy actually, if anybody in Nigeria that, if anybody in Nigeria that they should freeze his brain after he passes away, it's Tinubu. Because I actually want to understand kind of the depth of thoughts that goes in his mind that does some certain things and how he has come out to the way he is in life now. I actually want to see his story to understand the kind of person he is because that guy is too.
Cross is not an option. Cross, Tinubu is not an option. He's not a candidate.
On
He's
your
not an option.
mandate, we shall stand. Ashiwaju, on your mandate, we shall stand. Bola, on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, we
He's
shall
not a
stand.
candidate. He's not an option. That's why his party cannot even resolve the contradictions.
All right, guys. Hold on.
I know why you guys have so much confidence in what you guys are doing. Because for the audacity for how you guys are coming out to even decide that you want to bring out a Muslim, it just shows that you guys actually know that there's something that you guys are playing that you might actually win this election, and that is my fear. Because I don't.
Hold on, don't you want to? When you go, sir, you see now, that is why I did not want to join this live initially.
There's nothing
I
to
didn't want to join
worry.
this live initially.
There's nothing to worry about.
I didn't want to join this live.
Cross, there's nothing to worry about, Cross.
Okay, so this is
they tried to show strength at the national fountain. They couldn't get a crown. Even those they paid money did not come.
Okay, now let me say this here. Let me address you, sir. Mr. Cross. Mr. Professor, I'm not addressing Prof. Professor doesn't understand constitution, so I'm not addressing Prof. Sir, with all due respect, sir. Now, Cross, let me explain something to you. Cross, let me explain. Cross, let me explain. Cross, please, let me explain. Cross, let me explain, sir. Please, Daddy, please. Daddy, please, let me talk. Please, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Before you say anything, everybody is now entitled to their parting thoughts. These are your parting thoughts as you are going. So Bongo is going to talk, and I'm going to give you exactly 2 minutes. Then Cross, who's our guest today, is going to end. So, Bongoli, over to you.
Okay, so Mr. Cross, I would like to address the Muslim ticket situation you brought up. At the end of the day, there are 3 phases. One is the politics, the second one is the governance, and the third one is the growth and development. You have to get the politicking correctly for you to get into governance. And if we're talking about religion doesn't matter, why should religion be a stumbling block? Why should ethnicity be a stumbling block? I can go on and on about Nigeria's history from 1899, when Nigeria was sold for £865,000, to where we are today in 2022. I can break all of that down, but today is not the day. Now, I'm just going to talk about one thing that my principal, that you guys can see visually. Now in Lagos State, we have the Metro Lagos, which is going to start operations next year. You have the red rail and you have the blue rail.
No,
and that shows grand plan, that shows infrastructure. And then also, by 2023, they are going to add 4 additional rails, which is the green rail, the purple rail, the orange rail, and then there's another rail. I can't remember from the top of my head, the 4th rail, but it's going to be 6 rail lines. Now, that is infrastructural planning. That is having a template and successive government. This is what it's going to do. It's going to put less lag on our road infrastructure. It's going to reduce carbon monoxide emissions. And then the government can focus on all other aspects of the economy. Now, you have reduced the amount of cars on the road. It is a plan. Now, on my story right now, if you go on my story, you will see how they are linked. Now, that is the grand plan that is infrastructural template. Because Asiwaju is saying, you know what? On the 6 geopolitical zones that we have in the country, which is the Southwest, the South-South, the Southeast, the Northwest, the North-Central, and the Northeast, and the Northeast, you are going to have such developments in that area. Now, look at how much that is going to generate for Nigeria. Yesterday, I talked about something here, and people were like, oh. Everyone, go on your phone right now and check how much meat does Lagosians consume? Do Lagosians consume? I said yesterday it was 50%. You know why I brought up that matter and how that is going to solve insecurity? Because I linked the Fulani herdsmen to it. This is what it is. This is what it is, guys. The killer Fulani herdsmen are the 4th in the ranking of the global terrorism index in the world. The Fulani herdsmen crisis links to cattle rustling amongst the Hausas and also the farmers' crisis. This is way older than Nigeria. So Lagos State is saying, you know what? We're not even going to go buy weapons and ammunition and all that stuff. We're going to create special ranches. And Lagos State is telling you guys that have money here on this slide, please come and invest in Lagos State. So it is going to solve that particular, thank you very much. That is just 2 things I just want to talk about here. How you practically solve insecurity and also infrastructural plans. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Bongoli. I must apologize to Prof. Prof is an elderly man. Prof, I'm sorry if things got out of hand. Cross is our
apologies, sir. Apologies, sir. Apologies, sir. Apologize, sir, if I said anything out of line, sir.
No.
All right, over to you.
Daddy Freeze.
Then Cross will have his 2 minutes.
Daddy Freeze, please let me say here that I appreciate the passion of my younger brothers here. I totally do. Without equivocation, there is no need for apologies. There's a passion for a new Nigeria, the commitment for a new nation, and that's exactly what drives us. We're all interested in a new Nigeria and a new future. But let me say this. Importantly, when we discuss how we must move this country forward, my younger brother who just finished talking has forgotten that for 8 years that Asiwaju superintended over Lagos, he left no legacy project. Every time I hear them talk about the blueprint, every time I hear them talk about the blueprint, he cannot name. Daddy Freeze, I can leave a 50,000 bet on your handle if you can show me a legacy project, a major bridge, a major 9-kilometer road started by Tinubu. Lagos was built long before Tinubu and improved upon by Fashola and indeed Ambode. Tinubu was as mediocre as every governor between 1999 and 2007. That's point number 1. Then point number 2, very importantly, as we progress towards 2023, what we must note is that what this country needs is a leader who's committed to transforming our nation, beginning from education. And one man did that in Anambra State. And then the other one is putting frugality over profligacy. Let me give you an instance. I hope my younger brother will be fair enough to admit that Tinubu got the Lagos State House of Assembly to give him a bogus retirement pensions. And that was against every moral principles. Obi never did that. Obi did not do that at all. And I want to say here clearly that as we progress towards 2023, there are three fundamental principles that we must look at. We must look at the leader who has the competency, the capacity, and the commitment to a new Nigeria. You cannot sell to me a feeble physician. You can't sell to me a sick doctor. You can't sell to me a candidate that you do not know where he is and what is about his health. Nigeria is a nation that demands and needs urgent surgical attention. And we need a leader who can think on his feet, who can work 24 hours, and who has the competency and the capacity to get the job done.
Which is Atiku.
Cross.
Thank you so much. Cross over.
Guys, thank you so much. Heading out. So basically, right, I love you guys because it shows that we're all nice.
We love Nigeria.
Everyone keeps thinking, oh yeah, because you managed to get small BBN clout, and that's why you're just making us. Best believe this. So my life, now only me and God know my life based on I know where I don't come from. So me coming out boldly, and people keep asking, they paid me money. She banged, they haven't paid me. I swear on you, they haven't. Maybe they will, but they haven't. They haven't. My dad and my mom. I don't joke with my mom. I love my mom so much. That's my pride and my joy. That's my hero. I'll do anything for her. And they haven't paid me. I'm not asking why, because I'm doing this because of passion. This is actually.
I do that oil.
I know how Nigeria works. I was on ground during 2019. I was in the north, I was in the west, I was in the south. I know.
Think about it.
So when you look at Nigeria as a whole, there are some things I can't say online. I don't want to sound some certain things, but best believe that, Mr. Sir, I'm sorry to say, you're a decent guy. I fuck with you, but you see your principle. As I said, brain is a brainiac, but such a guy can't be my president. He shouldn't be allowed to be Nigeria's president because the things he has said to become like the arrogance, the audacity, the level of like it's unfair. Like to me, such a man, when election time comes, they should like he shouldn't be allowed to have up
God bless you, Cross.
He shouldn't be allowed.
God bless you, Cross. Nigeria is over and above that.
But for such a man to have that audacity, and I'm saying this now and I'm saying it, he should have a card that he's going to play. Because I don't know a man in his right sense cannot decide that in Nigeria now, you can't carry Muslim and Muslim. I know tribalistic.
Even the young man, they show flabby muzzles. In the young man, they show flabby muzzles.
They are just better. They are not arrogant, they are just better. I swear you, they are just better.
The young man, they show flabby muzzles.
He has done his best for Lagos when he was the governor.
Cross, let me make you laugh. Freeze. The young man's muzzle is even smaller than mine. Look at mine. Tiny muzzles. Oh my God! God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
My prof, God bless you. God bless everyone. But prof, take a meeting when you quote constitution. We did here. Take a meeting when you quote
God bless Nigeria. Oh my God.
Thank you, Prof, and thank you, Bongo Lee.
Thank you, everyone.
So much.
Bye.
So much. Cross, thank you so much for your time out. And I appreciate your contribution, and I truly love how you went about the debate. That was really, really very nice. Big shout out to Mercy Nantoma. Mercy Nantoma is having her class. Like I said earlier on, she's been buying stars. Big shout out to you, Mercy Nantoma. And also a big shout out to Ima Okele, who sent me 1,000 stars for coffee. Let me quickly make this announcement. How to become an elegant lady on the 11th of December 2022. Don't miss it. If you're a lady and you want to be elegant, this is your plug. Her name is Mercy Nantoma, wife of the Black Mentor. Learn the etiquette of being an elegant woman, how to define your own beauty, how to live and feel beautiful, how to meet affluent people for business, relationships, or romance, and how to build a network of high caliber women. Also, how to know and shop for your body type. Many women don't know how to, they don't even know their body type, let alone how to shop for it. So you're going to learn all that for only $399 on the 11th of December from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Don't miss it. Benchmark that day, and I'm going to bring her before that time to this live. So, Cross, thank you so much for joining.
Freeze, I know I don't want to put you for spotlight, but you try to understand. See, Freeze, Freeze. Me, as I said, I'm a numbers guy. And me, I don't gauge the whole P. And I don't realize the whole P. And I'm like, you know what? Best believe that we youths are going to be in power. And we are actually going to take our country and do well. I don't want to be a president. I don't want to hold a position in political posts. I promise you, I don't want. I want Nigeria to be better, because Nigeria has to be better. This is the only country we have. I posted something on Twitter. Yes, is it today? Yesterday. The Italian Prime Minister, the lady, she was actually insulting the French president. Why? Because of what the French people have done in Africa is disgusting. It's absolutely an abomination in 2022. So I can tell you for free, people are waking up. Things are happening and change is happening. One thing is inevitable is change. And I love that about change. Know how this older generation are going to pass. And we, the younger generation, will actually take control and take power. Look at what's happening in Osun State. Look at what's happening in Ebonyi. We younger people are taking over. And I'm so proud that, like, for example, now, I don't know why every celebrity are not coming out to post who their candidate is. Look at what Zubi did, Zubi Michael. I respect him. I called Zubi, I spoke to Zubi. Zubi told me he's obedient, and he told me his reason. And I told him my reason, but he still his ground that this is who he believes he should be his president. And I respect that. Every social media celebrity, every celebrity out there, best believe this country doesn't do or go forward, you cannot actually come out and influence for anything. You cannot influence for a drink or anybody or your brand, because hunger day streets. People will not have money to patronize whatever you're trying to sell to them. So it's hard time that every celebrity out there comes out and makes a stand. This is our country. Everybody actually needs to come out, whether it's Obidients, whether it's Tinubu, which I don't be Tinubu, please, but Obi or Atiku, listen. At the influence, I have things that people want to buy. If they don't get money to buy them, I have failed, and the country has failed. So all celebrities should come out and stand for what they believe in, and hopefully whoever their candidate is should win and do a better change for Nigeria, so that when we come out and influence for whatever brands we want to influence for, money go day to buy. If not show, you want show. If not whiskey show, you go get money to buy. If they put them for 10,000, you can afford it. Buy event or OB, drink, anything. So all celebrities, I'm actually calling you guys out that I'm sorry. If you think this doesn't concern you, this is not your country, unless you have another country. You all have to come in and be part of this 2023 coming election. You actually have to be. I'm so sorry to say, because this is not our country. Why would they allow them decide what will they affect us? Why would they allow them? We should not be allowing them, because people don't actually know what they are doing at the end of the day to an extent. We young minds, because we are actually knowing how things are evolving.
I
like,
appreciate that.
do you understand?
Amazing.
So they're the ones that know future. We know, Ellen, we know two things that will happen in 20 years. Think Americans, Chinese people. You posted the other day. There's about a billionaire that is made every 5 days or 10 days, something like that. That's an amazing stat. That's a crazy. Anambra, I know Anambra choke with so many billionaires, but Omo, you know, choke like China. And we have the numbers, we have the commodities, we have the rare earth elements, we have the resources, we have the people to make that happen, to even create 20, 30 billionaires every other day. But yet we are not. And I'm trying to tell people that, listen, if you know join this movement, you're actually a coward, because you can't come and post, oh, come and watch my movie, I've acted, come and watch my movie, or come and listen to my music, or come and do this, because you are scared because you lose fans, or you do this. That's just, to me, that's sad. And you all have to come out and vote.
With you. Thank you, Ross. Thank you. You have really done well. We all appreciate your time. It was a good debate, a good discussion. Shout out to DJ Bongoli, very passionate. Even though I don't like the way he attacked Prof at a point, because Prof is elder. But I love his passion. I love the fact that Bongoli is ever ready to defend what he believes in. And since, even though I'm obedient, I try as much as possible to hear everybody out, because me, above being obedient, my main target is a peaceful election and a peaceful cross. So that is me. Anything else is not important. If Tinubu is going to win and there's going to be peace, let it be Tinubu. If Atiku is going to win and there will be peace, let it be Atiku. If Obi is going to win and let it be, and there's going to be peace, for me, above any other candidate, because we can't have any development if there's no peace. So for me, my motto, what I'm selling is peace. And because of that, I have to accommodate everyone. I have to accommodate Tinubu supporters, and I hear them out. I respect them. I also appreciate Tinubu. I've lived in Lagos, and like I always say, I've seen Tinubu work. And big shout out to everybody. Last time we had a debate, Atiku's people won Star Wars, which of course has nothing to do with the debate. But I still owe them a post. So Atiku people, send me your post so I can put up the post. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Cross the boss.
Hi. Thank you so much.
You don't say you person will think say you be fine, but see as be gentle. Thank you so much for that. And once again, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your passion. And I do wish, like you said, more celebrities bring forth this kind of passion. Take care, and God bless.
And remember, for God is love, and love is God. Always remember. Bye, guys.
Bye.